All right, today we're going to go over using an electrolyzer, using solar power to charge a fuel cell. So we're kind of doing two things at once. We're going to take water, which most of you know that water is H2O. Water has two hydrogens, it has one oxygen. You can separate oxygen and hydrogen from water and use it as a fuel source. This is a renewable type energy source. You can even theoretically fuel your car. Most of you have heard of the Hindenburg before as well. So hydrogen is flammable. And so we will use some precautions today as we're doing this. So first thing, we're going to let Sam go on. Him and Gregory are going to set this up. So we need to hook everything up. To do this, I'm going to move, this is a solar panel, I'm going to move the solar panel so that you'll be able to have it ready to go. Solar power is a renewable energy and it can be used. One of the big things is obviously at night you need something to charge something up, so this fuel cell would be charging that up. He's putting the cylinders in. This one is the hydrogen, this is the oxygen. We're going to take the other cap and I'll help him just for sake of time. Plug this one in. And it goes on here. And we're going to pour up to the 0 line with water on both of them. It's also best to use distilled water. He's got that done. He's going to hook the rest of his lines up. At this point, he's going to put some water on both lines to make sure our fuel cell has water in it. When he does that, he's going to hold on and cap off the end with his hand. Let me help you. Our needle's a little small on this thing. So we're gonna put some water in here. You can see me spilling a little. All right, now I'm gonna cap it. Now he's gonna hook up the solar power. And we will let the solar power work for just a little bit. Now in the lines, you may can notice you're starting to see a little movement in the lines. We'll make sure this one may not be capped good. You're starting to see a little movement in the lines as you see the water. But what's going to happen is this is going to start separating the hydrogen and oxygen in this water. You can even notice that the lines are moving, and obviously the longer you do this, the more power you're going to generate, but I'm seeing them move now, and I can see these bubbles starting to move through it. And we're going to let this work for a few minutes. You'll even see a drip in the water. May even see oxygen bubbles coming up out of the bubbles. Obviously, hydrogen is going to put off more bubbles than oxygen, but I'm seeing some bubbles come off the oxygen right now. At this point, he's going to now test it to see if this works. So go on and hook the fan up. So he's going to disconnect the fan from, disconnect the electricity from the solar panel. You go negative to negative, positive to positive, and when he does this, his fan should start spinning. And he's got his wires in the way. So what he's going to want to do is flip it like this. And now he's not gonna work because we stalled it. So we'll go back real quick. This happens. It's gonna charge a little bit more. Because we didn't let it run but just a second. This time when you hook it up, don't hook it up with where it's gonna hit the fans. So we're gonna wait just a second and let us get some movement. In an experiment, this happens. All right, I'm starting to see movement flowing through my lines. So we're still working. That's one of the big things that you can always tell. And I want to turn it right here, so when you hook it up, we should have the fan going, but just make sure your wires go on the back side. It's probably not going to spin long, but for time's sake, we're going to go on, unhook. And his fan is spinning. Will not spin very long because we didn't let it run very long. So there's this experiment with the electrolyzer and separating hydrogen from oxygen. So we kind of killed two birds with one stone.